So, you're thinking about moving to Jacksonville. As someone who's moved here from out of state, there's a couple of things I wish I would have known before moving here. So let's get into it. The first thing you need to know about Jacksonville, it's a very large and spread out city. It's actually the largest in the contiguous US, so you can expect to do a lot of driving here. With the city being so spread out, it feels like you're about a 20-minute drive just about everywhere you go. I often tell people thinking about moving to the area that Jacksonville feels more like a bunch of different towns and neighborhoods than a traditional city. You also have the St. Johns River running directly through the city, so your commute to work is oftentimes going to take you over a bridge. Beyond that, public transportation isn't super reliable around here, so you're definitely going to want to have a car. We had to discuss this one first because not everyone understands just how large this city is, and it can take some getting used to. Moving on to number 2, Jacksonville is growing. In a city that's so big and so spread out, we actually only continue to grow. Jacksonville was listed among the top 5 boom towns nationally during COVID-19, and ever since then, we've only continued to see more people come here for work, warmer weather, tax breaks, you name it. There's constant plans in the works for Jacksonville's development, from the hundreds of new homes being built in and around the area to the re-envisioning of downtown neighborhoods like Springfield. With lots of plans for the future of the city, people are moving here from all over the country. So be sure to reach out to our team at info@therocketgroup.com to get you into a neighborhood that suits your needs here in Jacksonville. Moving on to number 3, Jacksonville has small town vibes. So if you're from up north like me, you might be used to a certain culture that's a little bit more fast paced. One of the first things I noticed when I moved here was just how relaxed the culture was here in Jacksonville, which in my opinion is one of the benefits of moving here. Places like Riverside, San Marco, and even the beach communities have been described as being neighborly and having a great community feel. So moving to a new city is always a little bit of a scary experience, but you may find that it doesn't take you long to find a sense of community here. Moving on to number 4, Jacksonville loves its activities. When I moved here, I had no idea just how many things there are to do. You of course have the beaches to relax and enjoy, but Jacksonville also has the St. Johns River as well as the Intercoastal, which provide even more opportunities for water sports like boating, kayaking, and paddleboarding. There are over 400 parks to enjoy here, as well as a ton of different sports leagues to get involved in. Jacksonville is also known for its great golf courses, which you have plenty to choose from if you're moving here. If you're into shopping and dining, the St. John's Town Center is a huge center full of luxury brands and upscale restaurants to try out. Going to the Cumber Arts Museum and the Jacksonville Zoo are also great ways to spend the day and get to know the city. Jacksonville has so many activities to offer, but these are just a couple of the activities that I wish I would have known about before moving here. For number 5, let's talk about the many beach communities we have here in Jacksonville. Neptune and Atlantic Beach have the beach's town center, which is one of the most popular spots for getting drinks or enjoying a night out. Just south of Atlantic and Neptune, you have Jack's Beach, which is where you'll find great restaurants and bars, a handful of hotels, as well as the Seawalk Pavilion that I mentioned earlier. And if you keep traveling south, you'll hit Ponte Vedra Beach, which is really well known for being an upscale luxury community that is of course home to TPC Sawgrass and the Players Championship. All these beach communities are a great place to call home, but all offer something a little different from each other. The next thing you need to know about Jacksonville is that it actually gets pretty cold here. So before you go throwing away all your long sleeves and jackets, just know that Jacksonville actually gets as low as 40 degrees here in the winter. And that cold weather will typically last from about November through February, with a couple of warm days sprinkled in. A lot of people don't really expect this when moving to Florida, but Jacksonville is of course located pretty far north in the state, so you can expect some cold temperatures despite the all-year sunshine. Now moving on to number 7, one of the big highlights is just how many events we have here. Jacksonville is of course home to the Jaguars, which is always a good time. And football season here is something you have to experience firsthand if you're new to the area. There are a lot of festivals at the Seawalk Pavilion and Jack's Beach throughout the year, and you can always see what's going on at the ViStar Arena downtown. The Riverside Arts Market hosts vendors, local businesses, food trucks, artists, and live music every Saturday under the Fuller Warren Bridge. Now, a handful of these events are going to be taking place in Jacksonville's downtown areas, which brings me to number 8. While downtown Jacksonville itself is not considered a very trendy place to be, you're going to find a number of other popular areas with walkable streets, apartments, and unique shops and restaurants. The areas that I talked about earlier, like San Marco and Riverside, are great examples of these neighborhoods where you can walk and bike around and enjoy stopping into all the different shops and restaurants right off the street. Now, with Jacksonville having so many downtowns, there is one thing I wish I would have known before moving here, and that's number 9. Jacksonville just doesn't have much of a nightlife scene. The beach bars in Riverside are definitely the 2 livelier places to be when the weekend comes, but you will find that many places close earlier than what you would expect in a city this big. Here it's definitely a little bit more of a traditional bar scene, but you can find a couple of places at the beaches to go dancing and are a bit livelier. And the last thing you should know about Jacksonville, this city is very dog friendly. With over 400 parks and dog parks in the area, as well as the beaches being dog friendly, you may find that Jacksonville is not only a great place to call home for you, but also for your dog as well. There are even a few bars and coffee shops in the area that will let you bring your dog inside, which is a really cool part about living here. Okay guys, that was our team's list of 10 things to know before moving here. We're releasing videos on Jacksonville every week, so be sure to subscribe to our channel. And if you're looking to call Jacksonville home, send us an email at info@therocogroup.com. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.